Hi guys. I haven't measured myself, but I took a picture and it's amazing. I'm really happy with it. Uh, I don't know if I could share it on. Maybe I could do it on thumbnail. Yeah, I think I'll probably do that. Anyways, so now yesterday I did 6 pull-ups. Today I did 8, which I think is amazing. And I did 13 assisted. I'm getting closer to the goal which I have on my mind, which is 30. Yeah. One of my friends just told me that 30 is a impossible goal, like humanly impossible. But like, well, who knows about that, right? So I think I'll just give it a try. And then so currently the only thing that I'm doing is weight training, right? So as if you guys might know, I've implemented intervals. So every session, after the session, I'm doing interval training for my cardiovascular system every end of the workout. And the way I'm doing it is I'm doing a sprint mode. So I'm going on zone 5, which is around 200 BPM, hard BPM. And every session I try to do one more interval. So that's like a bit of an overload on me. And it's amazing how more energized I am. Like I had the muscles, like a week ago I had the muscles, but I wasn't like energized. And when I was like lifting something, I was not in the mode where I was like, well, I want to do this. It was more like I was really exhausted, should I say? But since I've implemented those cardiovascular training intervals, I think I have more oxygen than I could use every day, like on every shots that I take. So I feel way more energized. I think, like I did some research and it's kind of contrary to the norm of like muscle gaining. Like normally you just bulk and then you cut the weight by doing zone VO2 max cardios. So, well, maybe they're right, but like in my experience, by implementing interval training, not a bit hard, like zone 5 cardio, it really helped me be more energized and in the long end, like push further of what I can do. So that's what happened. Another thing that happened is I started eating Rooibos teas a lot. And the reason I started eating them was because when I go to cafes, you can't necessarily eat coffee because coffee reduces my appetite, and that's one of the things that I really don't want to happen. So I can't have coffee. What else can I have? So I used to drink milk, but they sell milk for $4 and it's a cup. I was like, well, that's a waste of money. What other thing I could do? And I did some research and I found out that apparently Rooibos is really good for your TRT. So I think that also helped me because currently it's 12:30 and I did a full squat session, a full leg press session, a full pull-up session. And after that, I still had energy. So I did some shoulders. So like, yeah, it's amazing. Like it's getting good. I'm seeing the results. And the best part is, the most fun part is that like I could see the world. And after seeing it, I could decide that I'm going to do this and this. And I could, in live, actual time, see things change in the world. I think that's really fun. Like, for instance, I had a bad cardio. Like when I was getting downstairs, I was kind of out of breath. So I implemented interval training. And after that, I'm more energized, right? And then I started pull-up training. So I would do normal pull-ups and then assist it as much as I can do. And every time I would do at least one more than I did yesterday. And after that, my pull-ups got bigger. So like it's, there's a video of mine where it explains what I like in my life, what I really enjoy. And it was setting a goal, shooting, failing, feedback, shooting again, getting better, failing again, feedback, shooting again, and this infinite loophole until you reach the goal. And I think I'm doing that completely well with my gym thing, right? Yeah, so I want to cut that part. And I shouldn't use and if I want to cut the topic. So I shouldn't use so too. Okay, that's the end of my gym thoughts. And I had a bit of a time today that kind of bounced. So I had like an hour spare time, but wasn't at home. So I was like, what should I do right now, right? But you know, I don't know who made the quote, but there's a quote like saying, what kills you is the indecision you made, right? So what really haunts you and makes you think or wastes your energy is not the things that you actually do, but like the decisions that you haven't made. And those are the things that actually haunt you. One thing I found, so currently I'm just focusing on gym, right? I'm not doing any business. I'm not doing any, networking, nothing. I'm just focusing on gym. And because I have a really set specific goal, I don't have any problem deciding what to do. You know what I mean? So let's say there's a dish that's good with less calories, but it's good. There's a dish that has a lot of calories and a lot of protein, but it's slightly less good. But like, in my opinion, currently my whole goal is get better in shape. So choosing the latter is like such an obvious question. Like it's so obvious that I never question it, right? And for instance, when someone says, do you want to hang out today? Like I'm fine with hanging out, like stay up late. And my answer is completely no, because I have to go to bed, take 8 hours sleep. And I have absolutely no indecision. Like there's no contemplation. There's no waste of energy in my mind. I really love that. The reason I came up with this idea is because when I was a couple minutes before, like 2 minutes ago, I said I had a bit of like an hour bouncing. At that moment, I could either go to a cafe or go somewhere, blah, blah, blah. But I just decided to go to the nearest gym that I have, which I have a membership. And I just went there. But on my way, it got me thinking, like, well, if I had been doing like my businesses, my work, and at the same time doing gym, that exact moment would cause me like 3 decisions. Should I go to a cafe, work on my business? Should I shoot a YouTube? Should I, go do the gym? Should I go to the bookstore? Blah, blah, blah. At the end, I would end up doing nothing, and I would, be unsatisfied with any results, right? But instead I just went to the gym, I did some rows, and that's about it. But like, I had no waste of energy in my mind. It was so easy to decide what I do. So the whole reason I'm saying this is because, especially in Korea, maybe it's Korea, but like I think it's sort of a global thing. If you're the type of person, I'm not giving any advice, it's just the way I lived and sharing my thoughts. I'm not saying do this or that. I'm just saying that if you're like kind of struggling with, indecisions, or you're kind of unsure when you make your choices, it might be because you don't have a primary goal. Like if you have a extremely vivid primary goal, it's often really easy to decide and choose. That's what I learned today. Yeah. So, uncutted hair. That's okay. I need to find a phrase that I could use instead of doing this, right? So that's the topic that I wanted to talk. And then another thing I wanted to share is my mom. So I was searching up like my previous photos, like the photos that I had before, and I looked at my face, and you guys probably recognize my face is bloated. It got like big, like my nose got bigger, my face got bigger, it got more buff here. You guys know that? And I found that, and called my mom and said, Mom, after I started gaining weight, I became kind of fat in my face. And she was like, yeah, exactly, you look ugly as fuck. And I'm like, well, sorry, Mom. And my mom strongly disagrees on my weight gaining process. Well, my mom's a pharmacist, and I'm convincing my mom that this is healthy. And apparently my mom does not think it is healthy. Well, it is what it is. And yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. And I got it there. I'm nowadays watching no. Yeah, and on Friday, this is something I want to talk about. On Friday, I'm gonna meet my professor. Okay, I don't have a professor. I don't know if this is a universal thing or like it's just Korea, but like in Korea we have something called 지도교수. 지도교수 is like a professor who like takes care of the student, and he takes care of whether he takes a gap year. When you want to take a gap year, you need a signature of the professor, and that professor is going to be your, 지도교수. And I'm going to get the signature of him on Friday. One thing is that she or he does not like me taking a gap year. Last time she was really cocky of me taking it. She was like, oh, well, why do you want to take a gap year? And I lied because it was not mostly. It was because we are currently having like a medical conflict between the government. The impeached president actually wanted to have more doctors per year, but the doctor said no. So we're kind of having a conflict. And in extension of that, the students are not going to school. And the professor was like, well, why are you not going to school? There's absolutely nothing wrong with the whole thing the government is doing. So the professor was really mean to me. Well, I'm not sure if she or he's going to be that way this Friday too, but we'll see about that. Yeah, I'm super happy. One thing, like, should I use that physique? I mean, it's completely fine, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with me posting my body on my YouTube channel. I think that's pretty logical. Yeah. You know what? I checked my calendar, and on the 28th of February, it said bulk phase 1 and 84 kilo is the goal. I've reached it. I've reached my goal. And despite I'm bulking, I still have my abs, and it's pretty vivid. So yeah, I think it was a successful one. Well, that's all I wanted to talk about. Why my brother not in my video today? He's actually in bed. Currently it's around 2 a.m, 1:22 a.m. So I gotta get to bed quickly. He's upstairs. That's our flat over there. I'm on the 17th floor, which is the second from the top. Yeah, that's all I wanted to share. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did it, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, there was a guy who said, well, your views got down, right? And I was like, well, yeah, and I'm completely fine with that, because it's not like the goal of mine. And if I want to have the views more, I'll find a way to. But currently, I'm super happy with 200 people. I think there's around like 230 people now. It's less than 300. And you guys enjoy my videos is all that I need right now, for real. And yeah, that's all I wanted to share completely. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's a bit of flashy light. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.